Dru Hill is an American R&B group mostly popular during the 1990s whose repertoire included soul, hip-hop, soul and gospel music. The group was founded in Baltimore in 1992 and is still active. Dru Hill recorded 7 top 40 hits and is best known for the R&B #1 hits In My Bed, Never Make a Promise and How Deep Is Your Love. The original members were lead singer Mark Sisqó, Andrews, Tamir, Nokio, Ruffin, Larry Jazz Anthony and James Woody Rock Green. Hello everyone and welcome to True Celebrity Stories. Today we're going to be talking about the American R&B group called Dru Hill. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on new content. Early career. The members of Dru Hill are natives of Baltimore. The group became known for getting jobs at the Fudgery, a local fudge factory at Harbor Place at Baltimore's Inner Harbor, beginning a store tradition of singing and performing to entertain guests while making fudge. The group's name comes from Baltimore's Druid Hill Park, which is commonly shortened in the local vernacular to Dru Hill. Between their first and second albums, Dru Hill contributed We're Not Making Love No More, a #2 R&B and #13 pop hit, to the Soul Food soundtrack. We're Not Making Love No More was written and produced by producer Babyface. Dru Hill and rapper Foxy Brown recorded Big Bad Mama, a remake of Carl Carlton's 1981 hit She's a Bad Mama Jamma, She's Built, She's Stacked, which was the main single for the soundtrack to the 1997 Bill Bellamy film Def Jam's How to Be a Player. The group was also instrumental in writing and producing for New University artist Mia, whose first 2 singles, It's All About Me and Moving On, were co-written by Sisqó, who also performs guest vocals on It's All About Me. In 1997, Dru Hill filed a lawsuit against Island Records seeking a release from its contract after an Island employee hit one of the group's managers, Keith Ingram, over the head with a pool cue. It was discovered that the employee in question had a criminal record. At an October 1997 deposition hearing, Eric Kronfeld, President and Chief Operating Officer of Island's parent company Polygram, was asked why he had hired such an individual. He responded that if he were not to hire African Americans with criminal records, then there would be virtually no African American employees in our society or our industry. Cornfield's remarks set off a wave of controversy when word of them reached the media in November. The Reverend Jesse Jackson became personally involved, publicly stating that the Dutch-based Polygram had a pattern of race and sex exclusion. Jackson met with Polygram chairman Alan Levy and several other executives who issued a public apology for Kronfield's statements, and replaced Kronfield as president with Motown Records chairman Clarence Avant. By the end of the month, Dru Hill had settled with Island Records with the agreement that they would remain on the label. Enter the Dru. Dru Hill's third top 20 pop hit came in the form of 1998's How Deep Is Your Love, which was included on the soundtrack to the Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker film Rush Hour. The single This Is What We Do, featuring a guest rap from Method Man, set the tone for the group's second album, Enter the Dru. The album featured several other mid-tempo tracks in the vein of How Deep Is Your Love, as well as the R&B top 5 single These Are the Times, co-written and co-produced by Babyface, and featuring guitar work from Atlanta-based session guitarist and former Earth, Wind and Fire member Dick Smith. Enter the Dru eventually sold 2 million copies by 1999. That year, Dru Hill recorded a version of Enchantment Passing Through for the soundtrack to the Broadway musical Aida, which was also featured on Sisqó's album Unleash the Dragon. Sisqó released his debut Unleash the Dragon LP and had a minor hit with his first single, Got to Get It, featuring Make It Hot. His second single, Thong Song, became a major hit during the spring of 2000, and his third, Incomplete, became a #1 hit during the summer. Dru World Order. Dru World Order was released on November 26, 2002, 2 years after its original planned release date. Nearly all of the album's tracks were produced by Nokio, who sang lead on the tracks She Said and Men Always Regret. Producers such as Brian Michael Cox, Eric Neeland Phillips, and Kwame also made contributions. Most of the album's tracks featured Sisqó, Jazz, Woody, and Scola sharing the leads, including the lead single I Should Be. I Should Be was a top 30 pop hit and a top 10 R&B hit. Def Soul released a greatest hits compilation, Dru Hill Hits, on October 11, along with a corresponding DVD collection of the group's music videos. Both collections included Sisqó's biggest solo hits, Thong Song and Incomplete, alongside the Dru Hill songs. Woody's and Skola's departure. In early 2008, the original quartet version of Dru Hill began touring alongside fellow 1990s acts Tony, Belle Biv DeVoe, and a former producer on their first album Keith Sweat. The group held a contest in their native Baltimore for a replacement for Woody, settling upon a new singer Antoine Tao Simpson. The group never said why they did not keep Sisqó in the group, although it was later stated by Nokio that 5 people mess up the money. Indrupendence Day. Indrupendence Day is Dru Hill's 4th album. Released on July 27, 2010, it features the group's new member Tao, who was Woody's replacement. The album has released 3 singles: Love MD, Remain Silent, and Back to the Future. It was released under the label Kadar Entertainment. The Second Coming. Jazz left the group in early 2018 to work on his solo album, and Tao left in early 2019 to work on a solo project because he did not like the direction Dru Hill was going. The Second Coming will feature 2 new members from the group, a player, Smoke and Black, who started performing with them after Jazz left the group. The album will be released under Dru Hill, LLC and Empire Distribution. The album will feature their version of Bohemian Rhapsody as discussed on a Dubai 92 radio show. Nokio confirmed on Magic 95.9 that he has left Dru Hill to spend time with his family. Television appearances. Dru Hill had their television show titled Keith Sweat's Platinum House. It debuted June 28, 2010 on Centric. It focused on their 4th album, Indrupendence Day, and how they progressed as a group back on the grind. The show was scheduled to premiere on July 14, 2009 on BET, but was postponed. However, it aired on Centric. Why Sisqó left Dru Hill to go solo. Sisqó had already begun to establish himself as an artist, writer and producer. He co-wrote and co-produced the first 2 singles for newcomer Mia with her songs It's All About Me and Moving On. Both songs charted on Billboard. He also collaborated with his group with Will Smith on a title track on the soundtrack to Wild Wild West. According to group members, more attention was put on Sisqó during the recording session for Wild Wild West. Though all members were present for the recording, they allege that Sid was preferred for Sisqó to take the lead. From my understanding, it was supposed to be Will Smith featuring Dru Hill, but when we got there, it seemed to be in the cards that it was to be Will Smith featuring Sisqó. Woody explained on the group's episode of TV1's Unsung. Once again, it was just us being there for the sake of us being there. The session proved to be the final straw for Woody, who'd grown increasingly frustrated within the group. As a result, he quit, leaving the group to continue as a threesome. But Sisqó says the fans were not receptive to Dru Hill without all 4 members. The crowd started dwindling and not as many people were coming to see Dru Hill perform, Sisqó said. I think it was a direct cause and effect of what happened with Woody. After that, I came to the level and explained, we're trying to jam this new version of Dru Hill down their throat and we got this kind of open window. I want to do a solo album. The group's record label supported Sisqó's decision to go solo and the group went on an official hiatus. During the break, Sisqó began working on his solo album. His first single off of his debut album Unleash the Dragon, Go to Get It, was released in November 1999. It was fairly successful on the charts, landing within the top 40, but it would be his follow-up single that would catapult him into solo stardom. Sisqó's famous appreciation anthem Thong Song was the second single released from his debut album. The song was released in February 2000 and garnered 4 Grammy Award nominations along with other accolades. Thong Song peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Rhythmic Top 40 chart. Sisqó released 2 additional singles from Unleash the Dragon, Incomplete and Unleash the Dragon. Incomplete landed at number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 chart and the Billboard Hot R&B/Hip Hop Singles and Tracks chart. Despite his success, he reunited with the group in 2002 and they went on to release new music together under several lineup changes. He continues to tour with Dru Hill to sold-out crowds around the world. Nokio exits Dru Hill, leaves Sisqó as the sole original member. Singer Nokio confirmed that he's no longer part of the R&B quartet Dru Hill. 2 days after the group's Unsung episode aired on TV1, Nokio spoke with Baltimore Radio 1 affiliate 95.9 Magic FM and shared that he stepped away from Dru Hill after more than 25 years with the group. Nokio, one of the group's founding members, suggested that friction between him and Dru Hill's longtime manager Kevin Peck as a factor in his departure. I don't want to not be on the road, but I'm not going nowhere where Kevin Peck is and I love him as my brother, but we can't do business. Nokio said, when the decision came down to it, Kevin was more important than me being on the road, so I went home. I hope he knows my notes and I hope he up there dancing. It's like you're making me walk away from what I created because you don't want to go home and you ain't in the group and you don't sing, Nokio added. As long as he up there, I ain't ever coming back unless I got everybody with me. Woody, Scholar, Jazz, and everybody else. Nokio's departure leaves Sisqó as the only remaining founder and comes almost exactly 1 year after fellow group member Jazz's departure to pursue solo projects. Original member Woody left the group for a career in the gospel industry. And that brings us to the end of this awesome video. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on new content about your favorite celebrities. I will see you soon.